So the prompt you guys gave me last time was a beat 'em up game with a music competition theme added to it. So here's what I came up with. The finals for the high school band competition, nationwide high school band competition coming up. Your team is excited to compete. You've been beaten for the past 3 years and you're sick of it, but this time you're going to blow everybody away. But just before the event gets underway, the commissioner of high school bands, which is totally a thing, shows up and tells you that they're disbanding, pun intended, throughout the country. There'll be no longer any bands, no longer any band practice. You won't be showing up at the sporting events, probably not showing up for this illustrious competition. And that pisses you off. You won't stand for it, so you're going to march, because marching is banned.
Oh, that's good.
Very nice.
So this is your troop. They don't have names. They're just weird, ugly kids, and they're gonna take to the streets because the commissioner has goons. He hasn't come alone. He's gonna enforce this because he knows he was gonna meet with resistance. These kids are way into what they do, and they're not just gonna take it sitting down. So it's up to you guys with your instruments to fight back against those who would prevent you from pumping up the crowd for about 20 minutes between plays at your high school football game. So it's beat 'em up style, side scroller, like you're used to, but with the added bonus of your musical talents helping you attack your enemies. So you'll notice across the top, Guitar Hero style music notes. What you want to do is time your attacks to the marching band beat that plays over your battle, and that will empower your attacks. You can get away with attacking like you normally would. It's accessible for the children who aren't so good at keeping time or recognizing notes and whatnot. But for the more advanced players, you can learn the music, learn what it takes to power up your instruments and your characters, and really give it to those goons.
That is a cool idea.
I really enjoy this. And it's funny because both Neil and I have done band-related pitches in the last episode. So now we've got the third. So it's were you in marching band or something?
I was not.
Okay.
I had the option to join band in middle school, but I didn't.
I was in band for 12 years, and I hardly endorse this product.
Well, thank you.
I love how each character has a different instrument. It's like your turtle. They got the different weapons, but it's just a little extra flavor. And I don't know, it's so good. This would be kind of weird. Maybe you can work with this, but if you're only like playing as the flute, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only music you hear, right?
Or at least it would be emphasized over the main track. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you get like the drums and flute in there, and it's drums and flute, and that's the prominent instruments you hear. And it's not until you're playing with 4 players that you
full effect.
Full effect.
Yeah.
That's clever. I like that.
Although, as we talk about that now, I realize there's quite a flaw in that the music that you would write for the game would be incredibly limited in how, if you aren't presented with notes to hit, then you basically can't fight, or at least not well. So the music would have to feature all 4 instruments all the time, evenly across the entire piece of music. And I can't imagine that makes for very good music.
No, unless you can always attack, but if you attack specifically on beat, that's when your attacks give more damage. Like when you pick up a star in Mario, there's an item that lets you go into a solo, and suddenly it's like you can just attack because it
It's like
goes crazy.
That's cool.
That would be awesome, yeah. I definitely like the on beat thing. Like, maybe there's 3 tiers. Maybe there's just you're attacking, whatever. You're attacking on beat, so you're a little more powered up, and you can do it at any given time. And then there's the special parts of the song that only show up every once in a while.
Ah, there you go.
Where the timing's a little more complicated than just staying on beat, and if you hit all those, then it's basically a super attack. So you don't necessarily have to earn a super attack like you would in the normal game. You just have to wait for it and time it properly.
Limit break.
Yeah.
So last week's pitch was an educational lady nature game. Educational games are not normally very good. they're usually just like a wall of text, and then it's like, okay, let's get to the part where you shoot things. You know, like Oregon Trail is like, let's read all the. You wanted to shoot things and people to die of dysentery, and write an epitaph, and that was the fun part.
Every kid met their first buffalo encounter with piles and piles of meat that they couldn't put on their wagon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just enjoyed shooting them.
Yeah. So to that end, I decided to go with, funnily enough, the meat angle. Because do you really know where your cuts of meat come from? You don't think about it very often. Well, I think there's somebody very special I'd like you to meet who can help you with that. And that's Guy Fieri.
Oh, wow.
So we've gone from Flavor Town to Flavor World, and Guy Fieri explores the world looking for different kinds of meat and explaining what makes those meats great.
Oh,
so I'm going to do
adorable.
I'm going to do sort of minimal commentary with these and just sort of flip through them and let it speak for itself.
Stage 1, Mr. Western Plains.
Staking out.
Oh god. This really does feel like an educational game.
Yeah. So you wander around. As soon as you pick one up, the timer starts. You see there's something over the horizon there?
Uh-oh.
It's a rancher.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Timer keeps going. Oh, watch out, he's shooting at you. Oh, here comes the Guy Mobile. 3 seconds left. 1 second left. Bullets flying everywhere. There's the Guy Mobile. Get to it. Let's vamoose.
All those dead cows.
Got away. Yeah, if they get in the way, they get in trouble. Good
They
job.
are literal meat shields.
Yep, basically.
Nice.
Oof.
Good hustle out there.
Found a nice steer. Looks like it'd be good for brisket. Oh.
And then you learn about the parts of a cow.
There you go.
So,
Dirty little tongs. Brr, brr.
I still want rib. Okay.
Bring.
That's amazing.
I hope I get to the spicing minigame.
Did you write all this, or are these actual lines?
I wrote
Guy
it all.
Fieri?
But I did watch a lot of Guy Fieri clips to get an idea of his personality.
It feels authentic.
Oh, the Eastern Shore. And so, okay.
So you, through the process of terrorizing various farms, ranches, prairies, all across the world, you learn all about different cuts of beef and food, and where does your meat actually come from? There's no lady involved. I'm sorry, I couldn't fit it in.
The lady was the cow.
Well, yeah.
I was hoping for a little bug snacks, but this works too.
But yeah. But you'll notice inside the Guy Mobile, there's like blood all over the walls.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
Yeah, a lot of little things. So that's that's
That
Guy
poor
Fieri's,
cow's gonna have survival guilt.
That's Guy Fieri's Flavor
Why
World.
didn't he take me?
Pretty good.
What's on the back of his hand there?
He's got a watch and a ring.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get too shady with it.
It looks like he's wearing a Manos the Hands of Fate,
It does a little
Yeah,
bit.
the toga. A little bit, yeah. Thank you. Neil, what you got for
Okay.
us?
All right, so last time you knuckleheads gave me traditional Apple strategy game.
Oh yeah.
Now, I waffled on this a few times, but what I think I've come up with, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Pending title, it's just called CPU for now, Computer Protection Unit. I'm not sure if any of this...
Apple.
Does any of this look familiar? Yes, because in this game, CPU is a real-time strategy game in which you command an army of antivirus warriors in search of a virus on one of your classic, traditional Apple Macintosh computers.
Nice.
So the game starts on the desktop, and you start with only a handful of little warriors, and commands are given by dragging and dropping your warriors to tell them where to go and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you would drag and drop them into a folder to give them the order to go walk over to that folder and enter that folder. And the same thing, if you want, you can drag and drop them onto a file, and so like they would run and then enter this folder here. And so if you wanted them to like harvest a sound file, you would drag and drop them, and they would harvest a sound file, which gives you precious kilobytes, KB, which is an expendable resource.
Aha.
Meanwhile, somewhere deep on your computer, somewhere deep in your like system folder, is a virus is brewing. A corrupted file is sending out worms to infect other files and applications. So the longer you wait to go find this and destroy it, the more it spreads and the stronger its forces gets. So the more you delay your search for it, the stronger it can get. However, building your own resources will give you better chances of defeating the virus when you encounter it. So it's this, how do you spend your time? You could just go search your folders and attempt to find it, but you might get lost. You may go in the wrong place, and the virus builds. Okay, so back to your desktop. You can spend your KB to fortify your desktop, building barriers between folders, building shortcuts. So if you've already explored deep into some folders, and you're like, I would like to get here faster, is you can build a shortcut. Or creating more little warrior guys. So when you actually encounter the virus, it plays out as you expect it would. They fight. But keep in mind, battles, everything, even if you close a folder, stuff is still going on in there.
Okay.
Battles can be happening in multiple folders at once. And this guy's at the bottom left, he is, he's harvesting, and there's battles happening in multiple folders.
And if there's too many battles, it crashes?
No, you just have to move your folders around because you can't, this is what you see, right? You can move a folder around just to see what's happening in the folder underneath it.
And you're controlling this with your mouse, right? This is just like okay, well that's super intuitive, isn't it? That's
But the track is like, it's just trying to keep track of everything that's going on at once. And if there's a battle happening on the desktop, well, you have to close all these windows to see what's happening.
Okay.
The game is won when either your forces die, or the viruses overwhelm your desktop, or your guys kill the virus and eventually destroy the source of the virus.
Okay.
Cool. In other notes, I thought so the virus is spread, and they can go to different folders, so maybe trying to find the source is a little more difficult, but also there are different virus types with different abilities. Some can, most have to travel through folder hierarchy. Rarer viruses can just skip to different folders, bypassing the hierarchy. Some viruses can infect your warriors, and so forth.
Cool.
And that is CPU. Any questions?
I love it. No. I think this is my favorite thing that you guys have shown me so far. I love the whole aspect of turning the computer into a world that you explore. I mean, obviously we've seen that sort of thing before, but it's not ever like this, like where you're having battles in real time. I like that a lot. I like that it's a real-time strategy game where you do have battles going on like you would in anything else, like Age of Empires or something like that. But with the added bonus of it existing in the world I'm already familiar with of my computer. You got a lot of room to create some interesting and like humorous relationships between the knights battling monsters and the inner workings of the machine.
And if you don't move too long, a screensaver comes on. It's like, no!
Yeah, see, stuff like that.
I wanted to somehow to have the toaster with wings show up.
Flying toasters.
Flying toaster.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do that.
After dark, yeah. Two things. You would basically be creating a shell for an operating system to make this game. You realize you're basically recreating the Apple's window, the process.
Which is why this project is beyond my abilities.
It's a very analytical design process until you get to the fun bits like the animation and all of that.
Yeah.
But the hierarchy and all that could be a big pain in the butt. Still,
I feel like you could pull that
idea.
off. Because you really only have to do that superficially. Like, yes, it would still mostly work the way a real OS does, but you don't have to take into consideration any of the security issues or working with applications and stuff.
Nothing
so you can still pull that off.
Well played.
Thank you very much.
I love that retro. I love most things. I appreciate a lot of things retro, and I definitely like that. It's got a nice feel to it. That old graphical interface. It was so limited, but at the same time, it was so new when you first saw it, and it was like, wow, that's the future.
Yeah. The funny thing was, I got all those images from an Apple emulator online. So you just go to the website, and it's like, hey, you can make folders and such.
That's
and
cool.
Well,
there are so many
created.
little things that we take for granted today that I've totally forgot about. The biggest one, when you go up to your drop-down menus, you just click it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot in the old days you had to click and hold. Now that doesn't sound like much, but when you're trying to operate, do something. I want to make a new folder. Hey, no, it just like, all right, fine, gotta click and drag it all the way down.
It's counterintuitive now.
It's just all these little small things.
It's funny. Not only does that not sound like much, but you'd think fixing it would have been super easy. Like they would have realized their mistake really early on and just been like, oh, we'll just, flip the switch there and now you don't have to hold it anymore.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
And this was before being able to minimize windows.
Isn't that?
They were open or closed.
See, that's a big one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, good round, good show. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. We do read comments, so give us your thoughts. What do you want to see more of, less of, etc. All right.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.